You're watching a TGM production. Hello and welcome to Take Two, the Film Club, the web series where I review films. As it's the Christmas period, the 28th of December 2025, let's talk about the greatest Christmas film in my opinion, It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life is the one that's been utilised several times in other parodies, like Citizen Khan and so forth and so on. But today we're talking about the James Stewart original. This centres around an angel called Clarence. Clarence is an angel that wants to get his wings. Clarence is an angel that wants to showcase what he can be as an angel. So, the angels of above centre on the life of George Bailey. George Bailey is your average run-of-the-mill American man. This film came out in 1946. James Stewart plays George Bailey, a man who, when he was a child, lost hearing in one of his ears. Depending on where he's stored, depending on which ear that it is. Every time he grants to it, he goes, hot dog, which signifies his wish is being wished. There's two ladies, he's got a brother, Harry Bailey, and he's got a father, a mother, and an auntie, if you will. I don't really know her key role in the family, other than the fact that she was making the meals. This film is in two versions. The in colour version, which I've never seen in my life, and the black and white original. Sky has it on black and white at the moment, and DVDs black and white. Don't trust any version from Amazon Prime, because there's multiple different versions, and they all sound like not great, because none of them are the original. One's an abridged version, one's a shorter version, one's a parody version, one's a in colour version. I don't know what's what, and it depends on what country you're in as well, which version you're going to get. So I would recommend either getting a DVD or try other, like Apple TV or Android TV will have, or Google Play, I think. They'll have the original probably. Personally, I think that it is one of my favourite Christmas films of all time. It's got the feeling of A Christmas Carol, with having George Bailey seeming a little bit more grumpy at parts when he gets older. You have the warmth of Clarence, and you have the famous catchphrase, every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. Look, Mom, every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. That's right, yes. He's right, yes. Don't have to tell me twice. It's right. Pack it in. It's right now. That's an argument of It's a Wonderful Life with a British argument. No one can ever disagree that it's a great film, right? If you've seen it, it's great. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. I know the black and white's not for everyone, but if you know anything about Mr. Mason and Memoir, yeah, then you'll know I like black and white Italian films such as The Avengers, the original, black and white, Doctor Who, 60s, black and white, I'm trying to think of others now, original Coronation Street, black and white, Z-Cars, Dixon and Top Green, I'm trying to think of other black and white things now, I can't think of many off the top of my head. Time Slip, that's one. Anyway, but more to my point, I think that I was just doing British things there. Anyway, more to the point, I think that It's a Wonderful Life has that sort of charisma of, it is quotable, like Mr. Potter. You can see, I'm not going to name any names here, but you can see a lot of characters in modern world that are like your Mr. Potters, who are this like money obsessed, not very charismatic people. And you've got your friendly, charitable George Bailey at the other hand, and all the other people that work for the banks that I never actually knew the name of. I think that I really loved because I looked it up when I was watching it. I was actually watching it last night, and I was looking up. And apparently, according to Wikipedia, this could be wrong. Apparently, there was debate that Bert and Ernie from It's a Wonderful Life was what Bert and Ernie were based off for Sesame Street, which is wrong, apparently, according to Wikipedia. I could be wrong. That's why you don't use Wikipedia as an academical source, because it's not. Anyone can edit it. I can change the word Ernie to Bernie. Bert and Bernie. I wouldn't do that anyway. So, I think that what it's got going for it, It's Wonderful Life, is this charm, right? The words, hark the herald angels sing, glory to the having that as its song of choice in it, it's not like we wish you a Merry Christmas or the thousand years of holly, but it's not that. This is me not singing but trying to tell you what the tune is. And I think that what really works really well for this, more than some other, probably other Christmas films, is that it tells you the true meaning of everyone. Even though George Bailey didn't do anything of any significance in a sense, of in a wider sense, such as Harry went to war, right? The war broke out. Even though he didn't do anything of a major scale, like being a fighter pilot in war, what he did do, well, he still made an impact. So it showcases that if, for instance, if let's just say, if you at home went, I wish I wasn't here, no one would care if I wasn't around, every person on this earth matters in any sense. When you watch Doctor Who, a good example, or if you watch any sci-fi program, right, that includes time travel, they always make it clear that every single individual person, thing, or anything living matters. Because one thing out of the world, then everything changes, right? So if, let's say, if you didn't exist, right, then certain aspects of the world wouldn't exist. Because things only went in a certain direction because of that person, right? They might not have done anything. They might be a 4-year-old child at the moment, but that 4-year-old child affected the decision what the mother made in the first place for that 4-year-old child to be there. And it's all catalyzed from there. So I think it showcases that no matter who you are, no matter where you've come from, everyone matters. There's a moral to the story. Everyone matters. And I think that that's why it works so well as a standalone. I know they attempted a couple of sequels, which would have been awful, because I do think that It's a Wonderful Life couldn't get It's a Wonderful Life the rest of the story, right? I don't want to know more of the story. Turn it into a book. Fair dues. Go ahead, do that. Tell the story further, right? That's fine. I don't care, because that doesn't say, oh, it's going to be awful, because no one's been recast. It's just an author's gone, I think there's more to tell here, and they've wanted to write that down instead of having to get cast, instead of having to have all that pressure of writing something for film or TV that's probably not going to be as good as what the film was. And that's fair enough, because I think that some films deserve sequels. Some films don't deserve sequels because they're bad. Some films can't have sequels because they're so good, the first one, that others would just be awful. There's a good couple of film franchises that we can mention there. But overall, I think that It's One of Five showcases that everyone matters. It showcases that it's 1946. You would expect it not to look great now. It looks gorgeous still, right? I'm watching it in 2025. It still looks absolutely gorgeous. And I think that's just down to the fact that someone looked after the film well enough to go, we want to keep this in the archive forever. So my favourite moments of this film, it's got to be, I think, the scene between Clarence and George Bailey straight after Clarence has dipped into the water and George Bailey has hopped in to go and save him, and it's the moment before he says, I wish I wasn't born. The moment before. Because it's the whole washing the boat. Nothing ever falls out of that boat. No water or anything. And it just showcases that you know something significant is going to happen in the story. But you also know at the same time that it's an important catalyst for explaining the moral. And I quite liked when he says, I wish I wasn't born anymore. It's that moment when you get Clarence going, should I do this? Should I do this? Am I doing it? Am I doing it? Am I doing it? Am I doing it? Am I doing this now? 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 Now in a minute? In a minute? Now? In a minute? In a minute? In a minute? In a minute? Now? Now? In a minute? In a minute? In a minute? Now? Now? No? No? Yeah. And he's not too sure whether or not it's morally. But I think that it showcases that you need to learn. If you don't want to be born, like, what would the world be like if you weren't here? And that just showcases what the world would be like. It's like Scrooge. You get 3 ghosts and 3 attempts to see what his actions have done in the world to say, you need to change now. And I think that having the catalyst from that fallout for Scrooge helped him to become a better man. And I think that for George Bailey, it helped for him to appreciate life, appreciate what's going on, and appreciate how things are going on. You know what I mean? So he appreciates his family more, he appreciates his wife, and I think that the reason why all this has happened to him is because the bank that he owns, that was his father's, was failing and not going great, and everything was becoming disused, and everything was becoming it's all going to go to Potter, no one wants Mr. Potter to have it, oh no, and I think that what they've done, right, and then by him being in this despair position, helped him to realise that people are generous, because then they keep giving him the money, and he's got enough to save the bank forever, and I think that just shows generosity from the town, and it shows generosity from humanity at a time where war had not so long ended, and people weren't going to be in the most financially stable position, and people weren't going to be in the most happier of occasions, because they might have lost loved ones to the war. So I think that it just showcases a lot of passion, warmth, love. There's not enough words that I can use to describe how beautiful, how brilliant, and how amazing It's a Wonderful Life is. It's a film that's worth watching, worth discussing, and I think someone somewhere has probably made academic papers on It's a Wonderful Life in America and in Britain, because the film was popular enough for it to have 2 stage adaptations for musicals, and Paul McCartney was writing a musical, but nothing ever happened further with that, and no news came of it any further. So, thank you for watching It Takes Two, the film club. What do you think of It's a Wonderful Life? Bye bye.